I reminisce about the love we had. I reminisce about the love we had. Tender moments seem to go so fast. Reminisce, reminisce. I reminisce about the love we had. I reminisce about the love we had. A love so strong it will never pass.
Love Park Connection.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
So how you guys doing today? I have some really good news. I'm excited that my book, 30 Years and Counting, has finally come out. It came out actually on our anniversary, December 9th. So we were celebrating our 28th wedding anniversary. And the launch of my book. So it is available on Amazon. You'll also be able to get it through our website, loveparkconnection.com. I'm still waiting on the books to arrive, but they will be signed. I'm going to sign each book, so you'll be able to get it on the website as well. You can also get a ebook through our website at, again, loveparkconnection.com. So that is available. So I'm really excited. Again, it dropped on December 9th, our wedding anniversary. So that was a nice little wedding anniversary gift to me, to us. But yeah, I really hope you guys, pick up the book and get some information, get some nuggets on how we've been able to, create this really good marriage. It's commitment and it's work. So, but there's nuggets in there. There's information in there. So you guys pick it up and, hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So that's it on that announcement. But what we're going to talk about today is emotions in relationships and how those emotions can play a pivotal role in shaping and influencing your relationship and the dynamics that often differ between men and women. And being able to achieve that emotional compatibility and understanding, it's essential for a relationship to thrive. So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we get started, let us introduce ourselves. Welcome to Love Park Connection, where we talk about the pains and pleasures of life, love, and relationships. My name is Angela Parker.
And I'm Pierre Parker.
And we are a husband and wife marriage and relationship coaching duo. We've been married now officially 28 years, together for over 30 years. And it's our goal to help Black couples love more, communicate more, and build long, healthy marriages and relationships. So let's get started. So, again, emotions and relationships. How does it impact a relationship? And how the emotions between men and women, because they're different, as we know, how does that negatively or positively influence the relationship? So, one of the ways that I found, like even in our relationship, when we're talking about the emotions, the communication style. So if I'm up in my emotions and up in my feelings about whatever is going on, it makes it a little more difficult for me to communicate that with Pierre. Sometimes I'll get flustered because I can't find the words that I want to say or what's going on or how I'm feeling. So sometimes that will impact how I'm communicating with him. And if I'm lashing out at him because I'm frustrated, can't find the words, then, that impacts you. Wouldn't you say, babe?
Yes, it get me hot. And next thing you know, we going back and forth. Then next thing you know, I got to do like I did the other day. Walk out, like I always say.
But also I notice sometimes it will, for you will kind of, just shut down and stop talking.
Yep.
Sometimes that'll happen between us, and then that gets us nowhere because you've shut down. Now I'm even more upset because you've shut down and stopped talking.
Yep.
So we have to kind of look at that degree of how our emotions tend to influence, the communication between us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you when you find me in that state, or when we're having a discussion and you see that I'm trying to grasp for words, because it happens a lot. I'm trying to grasp for words. I don't know if it's age or what, but I'm trying to grasp for words, and then I notice that I get flustered, and then I just kind of snap at you. I mean, and what's your reaction or your feelings at that point?
So at that point, my mind is thinking, why you snapping at me?
Right.
What did I do to warrant this whole attitude and snapping at me?
Right.
And then sometime when I ask that, sometime that'll make it worse sometime,
Right.
And then so that, I have to do everything to keep myself from getting mad. So that's why, I do what we say. Instead of you getting mad or whatever and getting into it and having two people upset like that, walk out, let whoever get themselves together,
Right.
and then come back and deal with it later.
Right. And another thing I noticed that you will do is that you'll point that out to me, because sometimes I don't recognize it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't recognize it. So you will point that out, and and that helps me to kind of think, okay, what is going on here. So that's another thing. If your partner's trying to point out to you, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I'm seeing, instead of reacting to what your partner is saying, step back and say, okay, let me look at myself, because a lot of times it is you that needs to step back and look at what you're doing and how you're reacting, and that goes for your partner too.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that has helped me.
Yeah.
When you point it out to me.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we can all get so much into, our feelings and so much into whatever it is we're trying to talk about or whatever, that we don't realize that we're, lashing out and taking it out on the person that we love.
Exactly.
And sometimes you have to, get that reality check. Sometimes the reality check might be that, if I'm in that state and you walk out and leave, maybe that's the thing that snaps me back into whatever, and thinking, okay, wait a minute, why did they must have really been upset for me to walk out. And,
Exactly.
let me reevaluate this and see exactly what I did or said,
Right.
or whatever. So yeah, the emotional thing can be really damaging if it's not, checked.
If it's not checked.
If it's
right.
not checked. Yes,
Right.
most of the time the emotions, and I'm not saying it's because, man versus woman, but a lot of times the emotional part of it is so much on the women. You guys take it to where, like I said before, my boy who had his ex-wife who's,
Right.
When she got mad, her eyes turned black.
Right.
Sometimes women, you guys get so emotional that it's detrimental to you guys.
Right.
And that's not saying that we don't get emotional, because yes, we do. We get emotional. But remember, men, we blunt objects.
Yeah.
So we just, point us in a direction and we go crush, kill, and destroy. Well, that's normally the men. But nowadays, this whole masculine, like, that's a whole nother talk. So,
Yes.
but, basically, that's what it normally is.
Right.
Men usually, they're not so much into the feelings. We have our feelings and we get into our emotions, but not like how you guys do.
Right. Right.
Women, you guys wear your emotions on your sleeve.
For the most part,
For the
yes.
most part,
Yes.
and that's why.
Those are the difference between men and women.
Exactly.
And it is what it is.
It is what it is. And that's why a man and a woman, that's the equalizer.
Exactly.
You got the crush, kill, destroy over here, and then you got the emotional person over here who
isn't more of a supposed to be more of the nurturing
exactly.
side. Exactly.
That's why it's supposed to be made like this, you know?
Right.
So
So another aspect of how the emotions play is, dealing with conflict resolution. So men, like we just talked about, men sometimes have a tendency to withdraw or become defensive, while women may seek, that emotional validation and a connection.
yeah.
So, and these differences are coping mechanisms that can lead to, conflict escalation, or conflicts escalating
Yeah.
if not managed effectively. So, again, it goes back to ladies, you have to put those emotions in check. I gave the example when you and I, way back when, had an argument. I slammed the door so hard that I cracked
Frame.
the frame, and that didn't help because then that pissed him off even more.
Because I'm the one that have to fix it.
It's still not fixed, but
Whatever.
anyway.
Not fully fixed.
But yes, and again, then that started the snowball effect, because now I've damaged part of the house. I'm still pissed. He's pissed now, and it got nowhere, and we had to figure out how to come together and figure out a solution for this particular issue that was going on.
Yeah.
But again, ladies, when with that emotion, you have to figure out how to, especially if you can see that emotion starting to swell up in you. What can you do to say, hey, I need to figure out how to, get this under control before this whole conflict just gets out of control. And again, for the men, and we'll say it over and over again, sometimes you have to walk away and deal with that conflict at another time.
Yep.
And even if it has to be dealt with at that time, if it's something that cannot wait, then what would your suggestion be, babe, for the men if it's a scenario where it cannot wait and it needs to be dealt with right now and she is out of control?
I would still say walk away, because it ain't gonna. I mean, walk away and let her calm down.
But if walking away might make it worse.
Yeah.
Depending on the woman. If and hopefully your partner, so shit, if I walk away, this might lead to even further.
But I mean, at that point, what can you do or what can you say? If walking away is going to make it worse, what can you say that's going to actually make it any better?
Maybe. Well,
that's what I'm trying to figure. You see what I'm saying?
No, I hear you.
If you're already at that point where you're seeing black or seeing red, and you just already on full tilt on that, and your emotions is going,
right,
then there's probably not too much that man can say at that point to get you to calm down.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do still, because you don't want him to get to that point.
Right.
And now you got two people
right
doing this, and then it might get physical. You
poking the bear.
Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear, y'all.
But yeah, you don't want to be having two people. So that's why I say, brothers, walk away, go in the other room, go somewhere else. Let her calm down.
Right.
Let her calm down. Let her get out of that point.
Do you think pointing out to her, and every woman's different, and you're going to know, hopefully your spouse well enough that you know that if I do this will make it worse. But do you think that acknowledging or letting her know, hey, this is what's going on right now. You know, and I know that calm down to a woman sometimes makes it worse.
Yeah, that's pouring gasoline on the fire.
Right. But I'm just wondering if you think that at some point, because again, in my opinion, you can't always walk away. Some things have to be dealt with right then.
Yeah, but at that point, when you're in that position of you're not going to listen to anything that he says,
Yeah.
why even try to keep on? Because once again, even
yeah.
whatever you say
Okay.
is pouring gasoline on the fire.
Okay.
So the best thing to do is to walk out.
To walk out.
So now when you walk out, you're taking the oxygen away from the fire.
Okay.
And the fire eventually will have to go out. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Does that make
Okay.
sense, y'all? So,
No, okay.
and of course, it can, and some people can say that can make the fire even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But the fire is only going to last so long when it's
Right.
just you there.
True.
It's
True.
just you. After a while, you have to calm down.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you walk away, drive away,
Drive away.
and she calls,
Uh-huh.
should you pick up or should you just ignore the call? Put it on do not disturb.
It depends. It depends on. Now, it depends. It's interesting you say that. Now, it depends on if when you walk away, if you're pissed off, meaning the man.
Right.
If I'm pissed off,
It's fine.
because in my case, like the other day when we had our little spat, I didn't want to hear nothing. So if you would have called, I wouldn't have answered the phone.
Oh, it's on, y'all. Y'all know it's on.
I didn't want to hear
y'all.
nothing. We had a spat.
And that's why I didn't call you.
That's
'Cause I
whatever.
didn't want to
That's
talk
why I
to you
went
either.
walking the stairs by myself. Now. But anyway, that to me that just means that, if he leaves or drives away,
Right.
that's giving you that room for you to calm down.
So, ladies, what he's trying to say is calm your asses down.
And then he
Don't call. Just he'll come back when he comes back.
Yeah.
But you need to calm down.
yes.
And
That's-
even the men,
even the men.
because
Yes.
you guys get and and again, men's emotions vary, just
Yep.
like women's emotions vary.
It's not saying that we don't have emotions.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, gentlemen, you need to also, don't call her. Just get your head together.
Yep.
And then y'all come back at a later time and have a more rational, calm discussion.
Exactly. And
And
that's,
I'm sorry, go
and we're
ahead.
saying that because that's what we did.
And I would also for both sides, don't let your egos, and we've talked about egos too, don't let your ego, when you come back to that argument, don't let your ego lead this discussion. You have to, you got to learn to, in relationships, you have to learn to humble yourself. And you have to learn to try to look at the other, your spouse's, your partner's perspective. Even if you don't agree with it, even after it's all said and done, you don't agree with it. The ego and the emotions need to be put to the side and listen to what he or she is trying to say. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to empathy and understanding. So empathy, as you know, is crucial in any relationship, and men and women may have different emotional needs, or we do have different emotional needs. And it's important for both partners to strive to understand and validate each other's feelings. Listen with an empathetic ear and an emotional responsiveness, which it can foster a deeper emotional connection. So basically, if something's going on between us and I'm feeling emotional, and it has nothing to do with you, maybe I'm just having a bad day, maybe I'm just frustrated, having that, and you've done it before. You've seen that I'm sitting here getting frustrated, and you'll come in and tell me, babe, don't worry about it, I'll handle it. I mean, even with the podcast, I am not a technical person, but I didn't want to, because he was doing so much stuff as it is. I didn't want to burden him with trying to figure out the
Editing.
whole technical editing part of it. But he took that off my plate and he said, don't worry about it. I got it. It's easy for me to do this. So that with that support and that understanding, it really helped me feel like, okay, that burden's off of me. I don't have to get so angry or so upset because I can't figure this out quickly. So that is very, I think that's very important. Are there some things that you can share that, when you're all up in your feelings? No.
I'm all up in my feelings.
Yeah. So what are some of the, some of the things that, that you think I do for you? On the understanding when you up in your emotions and feelings and stuff.
When I'm in my emotions about you, when you
No,
got me
just
hot?
in
No, just in general.
Yeah, because sometimes I see that you get flustered or frustrated about certain things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you always come through. You have a calming spirit about yourself.
Really?
Yeah,
That must have been over the years.
Oh yes, yes. But you have a calming spirit when it comes to stuff. When I'm hot about things at work and stuff like that, I'll come in and
when you get all flustered about money.
Money. Oh, yes.
He gets so.
Yes.
When he starts rubbing that head, y'all,
Yeah.
that's when I know he's stressing about money.
Yeah, that's just
I'm like,
a
why are you stressing?
natural thing that I stress about. Making
does.
sure that this bill is paid and that we're cool. I work hard for us to be cool. So when little things like that get to me, and she'd always come in and she's like, "It's okay, babe. We're gonna be all right."
And it always works out. It always works out for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
It's always worked out. So I don't understand why he keeps getting stressed. I
Because
don't.
that's just me. My
okay.
job is to
stress?
My job is to take care of the family, make sure we cool and all that stuff.
I understand.
So
I understand.
look, I'm old school. My dad taught me take care of your family. So
Yes, you are old school.
that's
you
old
are.
school.
So yeah, that side of the giving your partner that understanding and that empathy when they're going through something, and when those emotions start flaring up, you want to make sure you're there and don't overreact, because that emotion might swell up and you can't take it personally because it's probably not about you.
Yeah.
It's probably about something that has nothing to do with you. It's unrelated, and you need to be able to be there and say, hey, it's okay. What can I do to help you through this rough patch?
Yeah. And as the person that is going through all that, we have to understand that when you come in, you're trying to help us.
Exactly.
We
Right.
can't get mad at you
Right.
and take it out on you because
Right.
you're trying to help us.
Exactly.
So we have to
Exactly.
understand that and be able to identify when you're coming in and you're trying to help us.
Right.
Either say something like, if you can't say whatever it is, or you can't express what's going on, just say, babe, right now I'm going through this. This is what's going on at work, and I'll tell you about it once, I calm down a little bit or whatever. But whatever you do, don't take it out on your loved one.
Right.
And a lot of people do that,
Right.
not realizing it though.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
we have to be able to identify that and see it and be able to say, and if you do, be man enough, woman enough to come back and apologize and say, babe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take that out on you. That was some shit that was going on at work, or
Right.
shit that I was going on outside of the house or whatever, anything. But, that's not the one you want to take it out on at all.
And that's a good point. If, like you were saying, if you're in a certain place where you can't express or say what's going on, just let them know. Be upfront. Yes, right now something's going on. Let me just calm down, and then I'll talk to you about it, in a little bit. But I just need to unwind. I need to decompress, whatever.
Yeah.
And then get back to your spouse, get back to your partner, and talk to them. And sometimes, partner, and I tell him this, sometimes I just need a listening ear. I don't need you to fix it. I just need a listening ear. And that
that's
goes on the
hard.
woman's side too.
That's hard.
Because sometimes women want to be fixers too.
Yeah, that's hard for me and
Yeah, it
for
is.
men like me. It's hard because we want to fix. We want to make whatever is hurting our loved one, we want it to be gone. So
Right.
if that means the crush, kill, destroy side has to come out, we want to take care of it.
Right.
We want to make sure that, if it's something that I can do to fix it, to help you, to make you to where you're not mad or hurting or whatever anymore, we want to fix it.
Yep.
That's what I am. I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to get out of that nature.
Right.
So,
But I mean, again, unless they specifically ask for you to fix it, be there to just be there and be a listening ear.
yeah.
Okay. So expectations and stereotypes. So sometimes there is this preconceived notion and stereotypes about how men and women should feel or behave. And this can lead to unrealistic expectations in the relationships. So, for instance, I guess some of the expectations as a woman, you're supposed to, always need a man to tell you, how you should feel or what you should do or whatever those expectations are. And what the stereotypes are, we have to make sure that we don't get caught up in that as a couple. Because there's some things, in our relationship that don't fit the stereotype.
The roles.
The roles, right? The roles, and that goes into even the emotional side of it. He actually is, I would say, even though he has this hard exterior at times, he really has a more giving heart. He really has I want to help people. I want to, he has a very nurturing side to him, believe it or not. Whereas, he wants, yes.
Don't be telling. Don't be
Whereas my side is, it's not that I'm not nurturing, but I am not I wouldn't consider myself emotionally the typical, nurturing mother.
She's the hard one. She's the hard one.
So I guess I've learned over the years not to say I'm gonna commit to something and say I'm gonna do something, or if I don't, I'm not gonna do it. And that's pretty easy for me to tell you no.
Yeah, she don't have a problem with saying no. My kids tell me that I'm the one that's always saying no. Dad, why everything is always no. It's not really me. It's really this one. This one is really just mean and evil.
Stop. But yeah, so that side of it, again, and at least with our relationship, I'm, that stereotype, those expectations, we don't necessarily fit that mold. So we can't assume that every relationship, every man, every woman are going to fit that stereotype. So, sorry, y'all. I don't know what that is.
Somebody is actually calling
We're
us.
going to decline that. About that. But yeah, so we have to remember that we can't put each person in a box because that's a man, that's a woman, especially in your relationship. So, you have to make sure that doesn't come into your relationship and that you don't follow the crowd or follow that, I'm a woman, so I'm supposed to act this way and my emotions should be this way, and same with your partner. So and then I'd say last but not least, and of course this is not a whole exhaustive list, but your emotional well-being. So your emotional well-being for both partners should be interconnected. And if one partner is consistently experiencing negative emotions or struggling with mental health issues, it can affect the overall health of the relationship. So you need to support each other's emotional well-being. Just like you would support their health. You want to support their physical health. You want to support their mental health as well. And if there's issues, then of course you go get counseling, go get coaching. But I know for me, sometimes when we talk about emotional well-being, because I'm real big on how things happen in your deeper subconscious level. So I'm always listening to, meditation.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Every night I got something on I'm listening to reprogram, since all of us have been programmed, but to reprogram my, deeper subconscious level. And that has helped me tremendously with my emotional well-being, because I can tell you a year ago, I would have never done something like this because I don't like to be in the limelight. I don't like to be front and center. I don't like to be on videos. So, and then writing my book. So all of that emotional change has happened, over the past year. And it all goes back to me having to meditate, me doing what I needed for my emotional well-being. And he has been very supportive, extremely supportive, telling me, you can do it, and just being my cheerleader and helping me emotionally to get past these hurdles of being so worried about what other people think. Because he's real good about not worrying about too much what people think, but he's a musician, so he's been out in front of people damn near all his life. So what about your emotional well-being, baby? I've been doing all the talking.
No, but that's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Well, we need your input. What's your emotional well-being?
Normally, I'm the one that's talking outside of the
I would
video.
say outside.
Outside of the video, I'm the blah, 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 blah.
Yes, he is. So, but what about your emotional well-being, in our relationship?
No, our emotional well-being is it's been great. Like I've always said before, and I've said this many times, you've had my back on all throughout our whole relationship. So emotionally, that helps me as far as emotionally.
Right.
I was able to be, anytime especially as far as anytime something would get on my nerves of music and all that stuff. Yes, I'd definitely be able to. Oh,
The karate.
Yeah, but all of that stuff, I'd always be able to come and talk to you about it.
Right.
So emotionally, yes, we men try to act like we, our emotions don't affect us, but yes, they do.
Yeah.
And I was always blessed to be able to have you there to be able to talk to you about the different things. I mean, I've done a whole lot of different things in our relationship as far as endeavors. And she's just always been there to go along with it. So, and anytime one would mess up or things start tripping, she's always been there to, baby, it's going to be okay. And she'd just take me and, it's going to be all right, baby. And I'll be okay.
Or I tell you, why are you still letting them do
that's
that?
the other part.
Why are you still letting them walk all over you?
Exactly. So, so that's my emotional part of it. Is the having my back, the strength that you've given me. She's given me a lot of strength and she's given me a lot of room to be able to grow and do the things that I've wanted to do.
Right.
Whereas in a lot of relationships, you don't have that. A lot of people, either the man or the woman will be very selfish and be like, well, I don't want you to do that. I want you to spend that time with me. Especially a lot of men. A lot of men, they're worried about, letting their wives be able to do things and allow them to spread their wings and stuff like that. Man, we can't be like that. Man, let her, if she wants to go to school, if she may have stopped doing all that to raise the family, man. And it's like her time to do what she needs to do. Let her do it. Let her do it.
Right.
she took the time while I was touring and doing all these other things. She was raising my son, and then my daughter came, and then she was ready. And I tried to be there more when my daughter came, but I was still gone, and she took that on and didn't complain, didn't stop me, didn't try to stop me from doing what I wanted to do. So it would have been totally stupid for me to be like, nah, you can't do blah, blah, blah. You can't do that. That's stupid.
And I can tell you that knowing that he was so supportive of when I went back to school, when I did a competition, fitness competition, and then starting this endeavor, he's been so supportive. And I can tell you for my emotional well-being, that has helped tremendously, because I know that he's not trying to stop me from, doing things that I, want to take on and that I want to try. Because I always believe that you should at least try to do what you want to do. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Try something else. But if you never try it, then you'll never know if you're going to be successful in it. But with him having my back and supporting me, even doing this YouTube, he was like, no, I want to do it. But he supported me, and he's been a great influence, and he's really, helped me come up with some of the ideas, again, doing the editing, some of the things that I, didn't want to learn and it would have really been frustrating. So that was the emotional part for me. My emotional well-being was, he helped with my emotional well-being when it came to my own endeavors, so that has been really, really helpful. He hasn't tried to say, oh no, you shouldn't do this. He said, he's given me food for thought, but stopping me and telling me, no, let's not do that, or no, that's not a good idea. No, he's been very supportive. So that has really helped with my, me feeling confident and feeling like I can do this.
And I've been the number one cheerleader for that right there.
Yes, he has.
The
he
number
has,
one
definitely.
cheerleader.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, he has. Yes, he has. So any last words of wisdom, babe, you want to give?
I think we've said pretty much all of it. Okay. I just always want to stress the part of, men, don't be a Neanderthal and just not allow your wife to be able to spread her wings. Yeah. Because if she loves you, she's not going to fly very far.
Right. And when we mean spread, he means spread her wings, just letting her be her, letting her try different endeavors. And we're talking about, whether it's hobbies, whether it's a new job, whether it's traveling, whether it's moving abroad, whether it's whether it's going back to school. That one in there, right. You have to let her try it, or she might feel some type of way. If she's allowed you, or she's supported you along in your endeavors, and you don't turn around and do the same thing. So, and that again goes back to her emotional well-being.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, thank you again for joining us. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And again, my book, 30 Years and Counting, is out on Amazon. But if you would like a signed copy, then you will be able to, I'm hoping within the next week or so, I'll have books on hand to send those who want it. The signed copy at loveparkconnection.com. But you can right now get a digital version of the book at loveparkconnection.com. So those are available. But again, thank you so much. And we appreciate.
We'll have the audible one come out.
Yes, that's coming out at some point. Yes.
Yeah.
But thank you again, you guys, so much for joining us and supporting us. We truly appreciate you guys.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.